Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning from the East Coast. Let me open up my camera. Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone, or I'm sorry. I'm on the East Coast. It is 1 o'clock Eastern. It's 12 o'clock Central, and out on the West Coast, excuse me, it is um, 10 o'clock. So, welcome those of you who are with us live. Welcome to those who will be watching this from our live stream. My name is Stephen Taylor. I'm from East Tennessee, a little town called Church Hill, Tennessee. I have been with the platform since June of last year. Went full time this year after having retired from the funeral space in pre-need sales for a decade or more. And I am building an agency here through the system that I am going to train you on today. So let me just jump right in and we'll get started. I want to talk to you today just for a minute as we begin, excuse me, about the power of recruiting. The power of recruiting. Ladies and gentlemen, recruiting is first of all a reflection of the belief in whatever you're doing. Whatever that you're a part of, you must have a strong belief if you're going to get someone to see your opportunity for what it is and be able to bring them in. It is a reflection of belief. It's the prerequisite. To the degree that you believe in the OIC opportunity will be the degree of your success in recruiting. Some people just say, "Well, I don't like to recruit. I don't like the rejection. I don't like the different things that go along with recruiting." Ladies and gentlemen, the OIC platform is not a recruiting platform where you get paid to recruit, but it is a builder's platform that will help you to grow a massive organization. And so, to the degree that you believe in anything, is going to be the degree of your success in that thing. I have a strong belief in every system that OIC and the Supreme Team have in place. So that's what I want to talk about here. Why don't we recruit? Why don't we recruit? This fella here doesn't have an answer. But here's some answers. We don't truly believe in the power of the opportunity. Maybe we're just isolating the value of the opportunity to our own experience. Maybe you're still with the sales agent mentality and not a business owner. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to come to this platform and produce, you're a strong producer, you are more than welcome to do that. We will support that. But we're looking for people who see the vision of owning a business and expanding that business throughout this country. And you'll become a business owner. Maybe we don't recruit just because we don't have a real understanding or a real appreciation for systems. I'm going to talk about that today. Maybe we don't really know what the OIC platform offers. Maybe we really don't know everything that it offers. Maybe we're unclear of what's next. So ask yourself this question. If I'm not recruiting, what is my real reason? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about the power of the OIC opportunity. What is the nature of your message here at OIC? Ladies and gentlemen, at OIC, we give people an opportunity to access the American dream. Ladies and gentlemen, the OIC opportunity is an opportunity to make people's dreams come true. an opportunity to create a financial legacy, not only for themselves, but for their generations to come and for everyone else that they come in contact with. This is an opportunity to establish respect of family, friends, and community. It's an opportunity to restore the lost dreams of the American people who thought, I thought it would be better than this when I became an adult and grew up, and I thought I would have better opportunities. Maybe they don't come from the best areas of the country. Maybe they didn't have the best raising. Maybe they didn't have, I guess that's an East Tennessee term, but maybe the best raising. Maybe they just didn't have opportunities that they saw other people. We give them that, ladies and gentlemen, and in order to be recruited and in order to be a great recruiter, you got to believe this. I have the belief. I want you to think just a minute about the power of one. Mr. Suni Samad, the founder of our great Supreme Team, said one agent can change your business forever. In 2024, 2 years ago, Mr. Samad, using LinkedIn, recruited a young lady from Oakland, California by the name of Arena McCoy. Arena McCoy leveraged that same system. She recruited a young man out of Charlotte, North Carolina by the name of Brian Swisher, who is now a business director. He's a watch earner, an executive, he's an equity partner, and he founded one of our niche markets, the Small Business Retirement Group. But let's go back a year before that. When he first came to OIC, using LinkedIn, what I'm going to show you today, Mr. Samad recruited a gentleman by the name of Caesar Paz. And when he recruited him, he introduced him to some leaders. He leveraged a leader. And using the three-way call, Mr. Paz saw the beauty of it and the effectiveness of it, so he started using it daily. And then he introduced Mr. Samad to a young lady by the name of Joanne Ryan, who came on board, who took this system and introduced a man by the name of Bill Fegans, who introduced a lady by the name of Natalie Hunt, who introduced the opportunity to a gentleman in New Jersey who is a business director, and I'm happy to say and proud to say that he is my business director, my business partner. And he's soon to be the next equity partner. He has pioneered the East Coast, the state of New Jersey, in the education retirement space. And now we through his efforts and his efforts and our efforts together are pioneering this agency market all across the United States. Also in 2024, using a three-way call, Mr. Samad introduced a man by the name of Mikhail Mecki to some of the leaders of the platform, including Mr. Gabriel Gonzalez, who is the founder of our education retirement group. And then Mr. McKell introduced Princess Mapp to the business, who later became a business director. Princess Mapp introduced a young lady in California by the name of Kimberly Howard, who became a business director before Princess Mapp did. And now Miss Kim Howard is our newest equity partner as of the end of the year, $50,000 watch earner. And ladies and gentlemen, she is doing amazing things. All of those people had one person that really caught the vision, and their businesses have exploded. So this is a two-part training. The first part, we're going to deal with recruiting with the LinkedIn platform. And then secondly, we're going to talk about the second part of this system, the three-way calling system. So let's jump into the recruiting with LinkedIn. Why do we use LinkedIn system? Why has there been a system created by our founder, Mr. Suni Samad, using LinkedIn to recruit to this opportunity? Ladies and gentlemen, think about the word systems for a minute. SYSTEMS, saving yourself time, energy, money, and I've added the word stress to it. There's so many people that say, it's just so stressful for me to try to recruit people. And why should we recruit with a system? Because systems duplicate for massive scalability. You can do some good things as one person, but you can do some amazing, awesome, tremendous things when you duplicate a system and scale your business. No system, no business. You're just a sales agent. And like I said, we're not downplaying that. If that's what you want to do and you're comfortable with that, that's fine. But ladies and gentlemen, we're here and we have a mission to create a movement of 1,000,000 team members, 1,000,000 leaders taking this message all across the United States. Another reason is systems built properly will favor the success of the new person. Any system that doesn't favor the success of the new person is not effective. And if your business isn't growing from the bottom up, your business is dying. Here's another important statement. You can make up in numbers what you lack in skill. And see, selling is one skill set, but building an agency is another skill set. And you can make up what you lack in skill by leveraging a system that's been proven. Because systems create more outcome for less time. So why am I training on it? I still have the title of training associate. I didn't jump in full time until I retired from my previous captive position at the end of the year. So I'm still at the first level of the ranking system and the comp system. But I have been in the insurance space for over 5 decades. So I'm not a newbie to the space. But I learned this system and I'm on my way to the promotions and I will be a business director in this year. But why have I been chosen to train on it? Because it works. It's the reason I'm here. Last year around June, there was a gentleman who I had no idea who he was. He reached out to me on LinkedIn with a system that I'm going to show you today. It tweaked my interest. I later found out he was recruited by Mr. Hans Augustin using the same method. It is the reason I'm here and the reason that I now have an agency spreading from North Carolina all the way to California and out in Colorado, out in Idaho. I have 9 associates and I'm continuing to build. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about systems for a minute. Why do systems work? Because if you have a proven system, you can eventually remove yourself from the day-to-day operations of the business, from having to do it every day, but that system still continues and your business still grows. Without a system, you're just going to get a great old big error message because you don't have a business. Now, I know you're familiar with those golden arches. I can look out my window here where I am located and sitting at my desk, and I can see the Golden Arches. And in 15 seconds, I can be out of the parking lot and in their drive-through. So we all know about McDonald's, but do you know about this right here? That's Hamburger University. That's a real place. That whole place there is Hamburger University. Let me ask you a question. Why are McDonald's franchise owners required to complete a training program at Hamburger University that lasts 12 to 18 months? Why do they have to give a year to a year and a half of their time to attend Hamburger University in order to learn the McDonald's system in order to duplicate it? McDonald's system is different than Burger King. McDonald's system is different than Wendy's. McDonald's system is different than Whataburger or all those other places. It is McDonald's, and it is McDonald's for a reason. It is McDonald's because of the McDonald's system. You can go anywhere in the world and McDonald's is going to look the same because of a system. This is one of the Asian countries. I don't know. I wouldn't know what that sign said if it didn't have the English on there. But the McDonald's looks very similar, basically exactly like the one I could go to right up from my house because of a system. So why do we leverage LinkedIn to recruit? Because of a system that's called the Infinite Eight. What is that system, Stephen? 8 invitations on LinkedIn each day, every day. The Infinite Eight. Now, let's talk about that Infinite Eight system. It is based on 3 laws. The first law is the law of large numbers. The law of large numbers is one of the fundamental principles in probability and in statistics. And here's what it states. As the number of trials or observations increases, the average of the results will get closer to the expected value, which is true probability. For an example, if I flip a quarter enough times, and the number of times it lands on heads is sporadic, but if I call heads enough times and flip it enough times, and if my fingers will last long enough, my thumbs, it's going to eventually get to 50% of the time it's going to land on heads. That's the law of large numbers. The second law, while it's not a formal mathematical law, the law of large numbers reflects the belief that outcomes will even out over time. Another simple example, if I'm playing a card game with you or a board game, and we've played 2 or 3 rounds or 3 or 4 hands or whatever, and I lose every time, and I want to just throw in the towel, throw the cards down and say, I can't do this, I don't know how to do this. Somebody's going to say, oh no, just keep playing. Oh, surely you're due for a win. That's the law of averages. And then the third law is the law of compounding. Now, that is a financial principle. It describes how earnings will generate additional earnings over time. Compounding creates exponential growth because you can earn returns not only on the original investment, but by leaving the original investment in and allowing that interest to compound, you can get accumulated gains. It has been said that by Albert Einstein, I believe, and maybe someone before him, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Ladies and gentlemen, all 3 of these laws are applicable on LinkedIn. Now, let's do some math here. I am not a math major. You can ask my wife. I can ask her, say, what's this figure? How much would this be? She'll tell me before I can get this thing out and pull this calculator up and do it. Why? Because of that laws of she learns all that. She knows that. She's been in restaurant business for many years, and as a server, she knew how much she was making. But let's do some math here. I'm like this kid right here that's trying to figure that equation out. I want you to look here. Here's you. Here was me when I started in July. This was me doing 8 LinkedIn invitations to connect every day, 7 days a week. That's 56 in a year. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead of myself. 56 in a week. In a year, that would have been 2,912 LinkedIn invitations. Many of them would probably, maybe 2,000 of them would be connections, maybe not. And that's pretty good. But then here was me, or this can be you. And you've successfully recruited 2 people. So now there are 3 of you doing it. So now you've taught them, they've duplicated what you've seen, and they've seen us teach. They're doing it. So now there's 32 invitations every week going out. That's 224 a week. I'm sorry, 32 invitations a day, 224 a week. I told you I wasn't a math major. I can't hardly read large numbers. But anyway, in a year, that's 11,648 invitations. Look, at 2,000, almost 3,000 a year, that would take me almost 4 years to get that done. But with the large numbers of people doing it and the law of averages coming into play and compounding, it grows. How about if it's you and you've been privileged to now have 4 associates? That means there's 5 of you doing it. That's 40 a day times 7 days. In a week, that's 280. In a year, that's 14,560. Do you see how these laws are taking effect? How about if you grow a team like this? I can't even count the number of people in that. You know what? You know what the results are going to be? There's where the infinite comes in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want the secret sauce, if you want a secret weapon in recruiting, it's LinkedIn. Why? Because it's free and it's duplicatable. You don't have to pay some guru that you see on LinkedIn or on Facebook or on social media saying, if you want to 10x your recruiting, click here, and he wants you to send him $69 or $59 or $149. And what you'll find out is the fine print that's in there. There's no guarantee. It all depends on your effort. It all depends your success. This is in no way a guarantee. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you just spent $50, $40, $100 on something, and you try it a time or two, and what happened? You give up. You said, I just lost money. Ladies and gentlemen, this is free, and it's duplicatable. You're not being charged anything for this. You are getting this training, and we're not asking you to pay for it. Let me demonstrate for you. Now, let me stop my screen here for a minute of that, and I want to share my LinkedIn page. Let me see here. Let me get out of this. Let me just get out of this. Well, I'm not sure what's going on right there. Let me hit escape. There we go. Let me go to my LinkedIn. And a lot of times I'm assuming that many people on the call know, well, I don't know what happened there. Many people on the call know um, how to use LinkedIn. Let me get back on here. What happened here? No matter how you do your best laid plans, sometimes it doesn't help. There it is. There it is. All right. So um, this is my, let me hide that. Uh, there you go. This is my LinkedIn. All right. If you're familiar with LinkedIn, you're going to see, well, I had this open because that was someone who reached back out to me, or that I reached out to. So this right here is your your feed. This is what the algorithm looks at, things of that nature. All right. Up here is your network. If you click there, you're going to look at your network. All right. I have 2,757 connections. Sometimes they will show this. All right. Here are people that you can send out connections to. Now, let's look at Shima Imami. I want to see where she is from, because sometimes they're from Canada. All right, this is from she is financial services in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm just going to click connect. Now I have the premium account. That's what I chose. You're not required to do that, but it just gives me more flexibility. And it's going to ask me to send it without a note, and you don't want to send any kind of note with it if you have the premium. So you send that. I don't know if you could hear. I don't know if you could hear that. I don't know if you could hear that ding or not, but that's what happens. Here's some more. Let's see. Let me just go back over to here. I'm going to show you my shortcut, my way of doing things, and you can do it any way that you want to. All right, here's Katrina. Let's just do it the easy way. Here's Katrina Haas, insurance specialist, sales leader. Connect. And see, I don't know if you can hear that. Sometimes people can, sometimes people can't. Um, let's see. I help small business stop losing time. Okay, let me look. Insurance broker, private equity, real estate. Connect. Part-time sales associate. Um, Here, and obviously, I'm looking for people really in the business. So connect. Um, Here's some more. Just connect. Colonial Life Agent. So it's easy enough to connect. Okay? It is easy enough to connect. All right? So now, uh, let's say that you get a notification. It'll show up in your network. So and so has accepted your connection. Here is what you do next. And I have these in a PDF form that I'll be happy to share with anyone. If you will just send an email to Stephen, Steven Taylor .oic@gmail.com, then I will get those out to you. But for example, here is the messaging that I send out. All right, let me get up here. I normally do this on my phone. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Uh, Now, this lady, this lady here has asked me some questions, but let me just show you what I sent to her. And here is the message. Okay. Hi, Janie. Great connecting with you. I have a unique non-captive opportunity in the life insurance space, and one of our niche markets is helping teachers with retirement options. No lead buying, no cold calling. We set up district approved events to simply educate teachers and public school employees on their pensions and assist them with their retirement needs. These appointments also lead to an increased amount of sales in cash value life insurance. Let's chat. I'd love to go over the details. Best, Stephen Taylor. All right. This afternoon, just a few minutes before I got on this call, here she responded to me. So it's going to give me an opportunity to show you what message that I'm using. Here's what you send to them. You've made the connection request. She's accepted it. So what do you send them next? See, some of them will say, I'm interested in knowing more. This one says, thank you for your message. Where are you located? And is this a remote position? Now, am I going to answer all those questions?
No.
No, I'm not. Here's the message that I'm going to send. And let me go over here to one that I have that I've already sent. Uh, let's see. Okay, here we go. Here's one. She said, "I'll be open to a conversation." So I added the word great in there, but I'm going to just copy this. I'll leave my email and contact number here. I'd like to give you a brief overview of what we're doing and answer any questions you have. I'm in Tennessee on Eastern Time. So what's a good email, contact number, and time to connect with you this week for a quick phone call? Stephen Taylor, OIC at gmail.com, 5498526. So I'm just going to copy that. And you can do the same. You can copy and paste, but the one thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is if you copy the whole message, you don't want to you don't want to call Janie somebody else. So if you're copying and pasting, make sure you're doing that. So I'm going to just add a little bit here, make it personable. Thanks for your reply. I'll leave my email and contact number here. It's the same thing. That's what I send to everybody. And when she sends a message back, if she's wanting to answer a lot of questions, want me to answer a lot of questions, wanting you to answer a lot of questions, you don't answer the questions. You follow the system. You see, what we're trying to do is leverage this system to be able to get a leader on the call and then invite them to the presentation. Now I could do more here on the screen, but you see what I do. If you want a tip on what to do, what I do is I will just continue to say to them, uh, I will. I lost my train of thought there. It's what happens when you're 73. What I was going to say is about sending out invitations. Usually, I send out several during the day so that at night before I go to bed or early when I wake up in the morning, there will be enough connections that have accepted that I can send that message to. And so that's the way I do it, and I do it from my phone. It's a little bit easier from my phone because I've got everything in text replacement, and you can do that. There's a trigger. The LinkedIn recruiting pitch that I use is LP2, and then if they respond, I'll do LR, which gives me that, and then I have a pitch for teachers, which is 2-1, and then the response is TR or T1 and TR. So you just create that system. So now you sent them that message, and um, they said I'd like to know more. So I mean, you send them a connection. They say I'd like to know more. You send them the message that I just sent that lady. And you say, great, I'll leave my email and phone number here, that message. And then when they give you a good time, then that's when you start putting in part two of the system, the three-way call system. So what is a three-way call? A three-way call is a third-party system leveraging third party, not a different system, but it's leveraging a third party in this system that allows any new person to have success on our platform. I can think of a young lady who was highlighted on our team call this morning, on our mastermind call, who has leveraged this system. She's been in the business less than 30 days, and she is already one recruit away from getting her associate. She's met the other benchmarks of production and submitted business, and she's one recruit away because she used this system and she's brand new. It is, here's the definition. It is a formal introduction and a formal invitation to a formal presentation. Now you say, Steve, that sounds complicated. No, let me show you what it is. Let me show you what it is. All right.
Steve, I'm
Here is
sorry. That was
my,
awesome. Can you repeat that again, please? A formal?
it is a formal introduction to a formal I'm sorry, a formal introduction and a formal invitation to a formal presentation. I'm sorry, I heard you, but I could not tell who was asking because I don't see it on the screen. But
I'm sorry. It's
uh,
Angela. Thank you, Stephen.
oh, that's okay, Angela. No, no worries, no worries. But look, if you will send me an email to Stephen Steven dot I'm sorry, Stephen Taylor StevenTaylor at gmail.com. Now, I will send you these scripts and answer any questions that you will have. But this this script was provided to us by Miss Marlena Smith out in California, and I just took it and I just formatted it into the way that I'm used to seeing things. And I'm happy to share this with anyone. Miss Marlena Smith will share it. This platform does not gatekeep. We share what is successful. So this is the three-way call systems. All right, so here you are. You now know that, let's say, Miss Angela has said, yes, I would like to know more. Okay? Say I've reached out to Miss Angela and she said, I would like to know more. And maybe she might have asked me a question like this other lady did, but I'm not going to answer those. I'm just going to say, I'm going to say, great, great connect. That's great. I'm going to leave my email and contact number here. I'd like to give you a brief overview of what we're doing, answer any questions you have. Hey, I'm in East Tennessee. I'm in Tennessee on Eastern time. And I say that because in Tennessee, there's Eastern time and Central time. And so I say, what's a good email, contact number, time to connect with you? And then if she sends back, well, I'll be available anytime tomorrow, or I'll be available at 6 o'clock this evening. Then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, great, let me check my calendar. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to check Hans Augustine's calendar. I have it on my phone. I have his, Sunni Samad's, I have their calendars on my phone. I'm going to look to see, does Hans have availability this evening? I don't see it this evening. Let me see. Does he have availability tomorrow? Yes, there's availability at 2. I'm going to send him a text, or I'm going to call him up if I see he's got a gap. And I'm going to say, hey, Hans, I have someone from LinkedIn wants to do a three-way call. She can be available tomorrow at 2. You have an opening. Are you available? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Put it on the calendar. So I put it on my calendar. Then I'm going to send back in LinkedIn the message to her. Hey, Angela, I have availability for a quick not for a quick three-way call, I have availability for a quick phone call tomorrow at that time. So I'm going to put it on the calendar. And if you're familiar with putting things in the Google Calendar, whatever, when you calendar an event and you have their email, you get that, you put it in, they get an invitation to connect. You can see it come up and let you know that they've accepted that. So then what I do, and you can do it if you want to, but if you've done much on LinkedIn, you know that sometimes people are on it and then it'll be several hours before they're back on it. And so what I've done, once I have put that on the calendar, I'm going to say, let's communicate through text uh, going forward, because sometimes I'm not on LinkedIn regularly. Sometimes a lot of people, you can say it any way you want to, but that way you have their phone number and you're able to reach out to them directly. So she says, oh, that'll be fine. So immediately I will send her a text. Hey, Angela, it's Stephen Taylor from LinkedIn. See, now you're still not saying Stephen Taylor from OIC. Excuse me. You're just saying it's Stephen Taylor from LinkedIn. Let's just communicate here. Then that way you're communicating directly. All right, fast forward. It's tomorrow now, and it's 2 p.m. and Miss Angela is waiting for my call. What I've done, you're welcome to do it this way, or if you're adept at three-way calls. I was until the iOS 26 came out and updated the way I did it, because no longer did it, when you added a call, did it automatically give you a merge. The first couple of times I lost people. And then I figured out that there's a button, the little three dots, and that's how you merge it. But anymore, what I do is I get Hans on the call first, and then I will add the call, and then when it comes up to merge, uh, then what I say is, "Hey Angela, hey Angela, is now still a good time?" And yes, yes, I'm glad you called. And I'll go, great, real quick. And these are on the screen if you want to take a screenshot, but I'm happy to send them to anybody that emails it. Real quick, and you're just creating some urgency. I know we spoke a little bit about the opportunity, or we've texted back and forth. I want to introduce you to one of my business partners who I've had the privilege of working with for some time now. His name is Mr. Hans Augustin, or whoever your business director is, Mr. Suni Samad, Miss Kimberly Howard, Miss Princess Map, whoever it is. He's leading the national expansion of this company, and he's doing some phenomenal things on this platform. He's a down-to-earth guy. And most importantly, Angela, you notice we want to continue to call them by their first names often. Most importantly, Angela, he loves helping people. So what I'd like to do really quick is get him on the line so he can share with you what he shared with me when I first took a look at this opportunity. Okay, hold on. I didn't give her time to answer. And actually, he was already on there. But I clicked the mute button. And then I will unclick it. I don't know if that's a word or not. It is in East Tennessee. But then I'm going to, here's the way the conversation goes. Hey, Mr. Augustin, are you there? And he'll say, yes, sir, Mr. Taylor. Awesome, awesome. Hey, Angela. Notice it's still first name. Are you still there? Awesome, awesome. Angela, this is Mr. Hans Augustin, the man I was telling you about in New Jersey. We're fortunate to get a moment of his time. Hey, Mr. Augustin, this is Angela from LinkedIn. And then I mute my call, because this is where he takes over. And you notice that it's still, hey, Angela, Mr. Augustin. What are we doing? We are edifying the leader. Now, even though I'm a training associate, I've done it enough that I could take the whole call. But then what am I teaching people? I'm teaching people that this is the way you do it. you're going to do it all yourself. No, we're leveraging a system. Did you know that Sunni Samad leverages other people? Hans Augustine leverages other people. Last week, Miss Princess Map out in California, a business director, sent me a text and said, "Hey, Mr. Taylor, I have a gentleman that I'm trying to get a hold of. If I can get a hold of him, may I leverage you on the three-way call?" And I'm a training associate. She's a business director. But what was she doing? She's going to call me Mr. Stephen Taylor. She's going to say the same things because she's edifying the expert, term used loosely, but that's what you're doing. You're edifying the leader. And so
Wow, that's awesome.
that's what you want your new people, that's what you want your new people to learn. So it's, hey, Angela, you still, are you there? Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Hey, Mr. Guston, are you there? Yes, Mr. Taylor. Awesome. Hey, Angela, are you still there? Yes, sir. Awesome, awesome. Angela, this is Mr. Hans Augustine. This is the man I was telling you about in New Jersey. And we're fortunate to get a moment of his time. What are we doing? We're creating urgency. We're lifting him up. And it's not just blowing smoke. We are fortunate to get. I am fortunate to get time. He is always on the go. Mr. Samad's always on the go. But even if they had a lull in their schedule, you want them to know that you're putting them in touch with a leader, something they're not used to with other IMOs. All right. So now, I'm going to play Mr. Hans Augustine now. Hey, Miss Angela, I'm honored to be on the line with anybody that Mr. Taylor has introduced me to. I promise I didn't pay him to say all those nice things about me. Now, that may sound cheesy, but it works. And you want to throw in just a little bit of humility, a little bit of humor there. I promise I didn't pay him to say all those things about me. And with that said, he's so humble that he probably didn't mention that he's helped develop and he's expanding our company as well. And he also is doing some amazing things, helping a lot of people. So I'm honored to be on the line with you. And then he'll say, where did you meet Mr. Taylor? How did you get in contact with Mr. Taylor? Hans knows that. Hans knows it was from LinkedIn. But she's going to say, well, he reached out to me on LinkedIn. And he'll say, well, that's great. That's great. So what are you currently doing for a living? And you wait, or the leader will wait. And they'll say, well, I'm working with FFL, or I'm working with Symmetry, or whatever they're doing. And he says, well, that's awesome, Angela. That's awesome. Now, Hans, most of the time, um, will be very courteous, especially to to ladies, and he'll say, Miss Angela, So I know you're a pretty smart young lady, or if it's a man, I know you're a pretty smart guy, and you're evidently doing well where you are. What got you looking into another opportunity? He's discovering the pain point. What's hurting them? Why did they agree to take this call and look into this? Well, I'm having to spend a lot of money on leads, and these leads, I'm finding out other people's had them, and they just, I'm spending a lot of money, and I've not made any money. That is a pain point, ladies and gentlemen. And so here's the response of the leader. Well, I can definitely understand how you feel. You know what? At one point, I felt the exact same way. I was buying leads. I came from a company that's buying leads. I was in a final expense company, and it was daily knocking on doors, and you couldn't find people at home, and they would say, "Oh, I just sent it in to get that gift card, or I just sent it in to get that book," and it was just and it was a chore many times, and I couldn't see myself continuing to do that. But I found, felt, found. But I found this company, and they taught me another way to do this business. So, briefly, with that said, Miss Angela, we're our infinite company, the people's company. We've been around, this says for about 7 years. I need to update that because August the 8th, it'll be 8 years. We've been around for almost 8 years. And this script says we're one of the only IMOs. Now, if you're in the business, you know what an IMO is, Insurance Marketing Organization. But if it's someone that maybe has just gotten into the space, or maybe they're in another organization, another career altogether, they don't know what an IMO is. So what you want to say is, if it's someone that's not experienced, you want to say we're one of the only companies that's doing the things we're doing, and we're doing them in several markets. We have niche markets, natural markets, we have agency markets. Now, is he describing those markets? No. No, because this is a quick phone call. He's tweaking the interest. Remember, three-way call is a formal invitation and a formal introduction. A formal introduction to a formal invitation. I get my tongue twisted. And a formal invitation to a formal presentation. So all he wants to do is be able to get them to the OIC overview. So, Angela, what I'd like to do is get you over to one of our Zoom presentations on Monday at 8 Eastern, the corporate one. If it's now this late in the week, or at least by when, if it's after Monday, you want to point them to the 1 o'clock one Eastern that I'm privileged to do about every week. Some of the other leaders do it. And you want to say, I'd like to get you over to one of our Zoom presentations on such and such day. We have a business overview that's going to be done by one of the business directors on our platform. And no, I'm not a business director in title, but I am a business director, will be. That's my mentality. And he does an outstanding job. That way, you can see for yourself, Angela, and make a more informed decision as to whether what we do is a good fit for you. Does that sound fair to you? Well, yes, it does. Awesome. Awesome. Well, Angela, I'm going to leave you with Mr. Augustine. It was a privilege to talk with you on the phone. He's going to give you I'm going to leave you with Mr. Augustine or Mr. Taylor. He's going to give you the link, and I'll be there. So I'll look forward to seeing you on the Zoom. All right? Hey, Mr. Taylor. Hey, Miss Angela, whoever's the associate. Always a pleasure. Talk to you soon. So he hangs up. I'm still on the phone. Now I open my phone back up. I'm going to say if I've already gotten, and 9 times out of 10 I have that email because of that first message that I send to them. What's a good number and email to contact you? I'm going to go ahead and send you over that link, and you'll get an invitation to accept, and then I'll be checking back with you a few minutes before the call, and then I'm going to follow up with you after the call to find out what you like best. That's important for you to say. I'll say that here again in just a minute. You don't want to say, you don't want to ask them, what'd you think? You don't want to know that. You want to say, what did you like best about the call? So that's the three-way call, ladies and gentlemen. And it has worked very well for me and Mr. Samad in another organization, in a network marketing organization with Legal Shield that we were, but it hadn't been introduced to OIC. Mr. Suni Samad introduced that in the car with Gabriel Gonzalez on a 9-hour trip to meet Brad Pham in San Antonio. And Gabriel Gonzalez said, "What in the world are you doing?" And he told him, he said, I'm going to build a national massive organization using this system. And now guess what? It's being used by all kinds of people. So when Suni Samad, when I was reached out to by James Clark, and he brought on Suni Samad, Hans Augustine, and I knew it was a three-way call. I knew exactly I knew exactly this system. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you it works. Now, I want to wrap it up. It's 1:55. I want to wrap it up with one final word. It's actually a few words, but one final thought. If you're going to recruit, you're going to take on a responsibility. Don't let that scare you. Don't let that scare you. Because if you have the vision that I have, there's not going to be a day go by that I don't do my Infinite Eight. Now, I sing in a Southern Gospel Quartet. We start traveling this weekend, and we're going to travel on Sundays. Most of the time, that's a lot of times on Saturdays. But I have my hotspot with me. I will find the time when I'm on that motor coach to do my three-way calls, to do my LinkedIn recruiting. I will find the time because I've seen it broaden my agency from right here at my desk in a little town called Churchill, Tennessee, near my hometown of where I was born and raised. And I moved away from there a long time ago. I'm temporarily here, but I'll be relocating back to the house that we own in Sevier County, Tennessee, home of Dolly Parton. Yay, yay! But from right here, I've been able to use this system with all but one of my associates. The one was a personal acquaintance that I had. The rest of them have come from this system. I have a responsibility. If I'm going to recruit, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go all in with it. So, you got to be consistent. You have to do it every day. That law of large numbers, the law of averages, the law of compounding. Do it every day. At some point every day. There's times when I've been up at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning because I've been up late. I will do it then. It's already the next morning, so I send them out then. So when I wake up, I've got people who have connected with me. Do it every day. Number two, always respond. Do not let someone connect, even if they just say thank you, or it's good to connect with you, or you may have someone trying to cross recruit you. Always respond to every connection with that first pitch. Hi, Angela. Great connecting with you. I have a unique non-captive opportunity in the insurance space, and so on and so forth. Let's chat. I'd love to go over the details. Send it to everyone who responds. Number three, reply to everyone that is interested. Reply. You want to schedule the three-way call. You reply, I'll leave my email and I'll leave my contact number and email here. I'd like to give you a brief overview. You just copy paste it. You find out a good time and you say, send back. Let me check my calendar. I'll get right back with you. That's when you find out if you're going to have Mr. Suni available or Mr. Hans available or someone so that you know who to pivot to. If none of them are available, call me. My phone number is 865-549-8526. I'm happy to do it for you. Because we're a team here. If you're in California, you're still my business partner. If you're on someone else's team, you're still my business partner. You want to make sure there'll be a leader. Schedule that call. And then you let the people know. You send that business opportunity link out to that person. And then it's not over. Then follow up with them. Send them a reminder text 30 minutes before that presentation. If this is not on there, but if you don't see them on the call, send them another text. But if they're on that call, as soon as the Zoom ends, follow up with them again. Now, when I'm doing the presentation, we all do the presentation. We tell them, get back in touch with the person who invited you to this call. But I go a step further and tell the people, you need to call them before they call you. And you want to say, I wanted to reach back out because I wanted to see what you like best about what you saw and heard. Don't say what you think, because you're going to get, oh, I don't know if I can build this. I don't know if I can build. You don't do that. Ask them, what did you like the best? Ladies and gentlemen, you got a responsibility. Every day you got to do it, because you're teaching the people you bring on how to do it. When someone connects, send the pitch. Great connecting with you. Have a unique non-captive opportunity in the life insurance space. If they reply interested, send the reply. Don't answer questions. Just send the reply. We got to keep it duplicatable. If they're interested, make sure you can schedule the three-way call with your leader. Then send them the business opportunity link. Remind them 30 minutes before about it, and then follow up again. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a duplicatable system. I want to thank you for attending today's training. I'm going to try to stop sharing my screen. I don't know if I'm still sharing or not, because I can't see anything that's on my screen. Oh, I can see. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. I want to see if I can see who maybe was on our call with us today. There are some. I see Miss Angela still on here. Some other folks. Thank you for being on here. And I'm going to put in the chat one more time. I'm going to put in this is my phone number, 865-549-8526. And this is my email, stephen.taylor.oic@gmail.com. Folks, it is now about 2:03, and I'm always wanting to be conscious of everyone's time. If you need these scripts, if you have any questions, rather than lengthen the call with questions today, if you'll send me an email, send me a text, I'll be happy to talk to you. I'll be happy to text you. If you'll email me and say, please send me the scripts, I will send you the recruiting scripts. I will send you the three-way call script and all of that. So I want to wish you a great day, and I look forward to seeing everyone on the call at the top. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you, Stephen. This